some intro into our childhood as we get into this next game, as it is going to be a Zerg versus Zerg.
Indeed it is. And in the lower left-hand corner, coming out for StarCraft Ascension on Derelict Watcher, it is going to be BioIce.
And in the top right-hand corner, representing the Red Zerg and Young Money Cash Money Billionaires, playing very strong Mutalisk, Zergling, Baneling play in the previous game, it is Moosegills.
So we have seen quite a bit of ZVZ lately, as it seems like we've been casting the teams that have a lot of Zergs. So we've seen a lot of different builds, as is with any matchup. But Ling, Baneling, Muta seems to be the old go-to standby.
It really does, and whether or not you get to Muta is just a luck of the draw as to how intense the early game play is.
I think I'd honestly like to see, something I'd be intrigued about is to see some APM comparisons between the different matchups, ZVZ, PVZ, I don't need to name them all, but
right.
To see exactly, which matchups are more APM intensive, and I would have to guess that ZVZ would probably be the highest.
Definitely, when you're getting to this level of play, you really have to be paying attention to where your units are at all times. You really have to be aware of where your Banelings are, especially, because you don't want to lose those to single Zerglings. You don't want to make bad trades. If Banelings are coming up against Banelings, you don't want one Baneling to take out two of yours. It's a small amount of investment, as each Zergling roughly costs about 25 minerals, and then the Baneling on top of that ends up costing 50 minerals and 25 gas. But at the early game, that ends up being a lot, as you want to be mining more minerals than you do gas, because you're not really teching, you're just getting Banelings. So that can really end up adding up and putting you far behind.
Absolutely, but you know what? Talking about mirror matchups, we have got the ultimate matchup in this game, my friend.
Look at that. This is just fun to look at. The Overlords are kind of crossing at the exact same times. The hatcheries are going down at the exact same times.
I think there might be an AI playing for one of the players set to just mirror what the other one does.
That'd be an interesting
predicament. Gas is a little bit earlier for Moosegills. BioIce a little bit behind on the gas. So,
but the trade-off there is he is going to get two more Zerglings out.
Yeah, that is true. And those early advantage, seriously, when we're talking ZVZ, two Zerglings can make or break the game in the early game, especially when you're going for the early hatches like this.
But early gas can also make a big difference as well, as you're going to be able to get that Baneling nest down, you're going to be able to get that speed down a little faster. So it really is a toss-up as to who's going to be coming out ahead here.
Yeah, so we're going to see what these Banelings can get done here. It is a little weird, Delegation, as we're not used to running a delay on the stream, so it's funny seeing comments to what we're saying coming up a full minute afterward. So
that is true.
If you're watching and used to us shouting out to you right away when you make I almost said a tweet in chat, but if you make noise in chat, we won't know right away.
So these four Lings do go in, but they are greeted by a Queen. Great micro there by BioIce. He sends a single Ling in to distract 3 and gets a kill by 1. It's going to end up being a even trade there, as the 1 does get killed.
Baneling Nest coming down now from Moosegills, so he's going to have his a little bit sooner. Speed is also a little bit ahead of BioIce, just barely, just a couple seconds.
And that's a function of getting that gas down a little bit sooner.
So look at the unit stab, it's 24 drones to 21 drones and 3 Zerglings to 3 Zerglings. So, we're fairly close, but as you said, just that bringing that gas down a little bit sooner does make a difference. Now, Moosegills jumping ahead on the drones, it just depends on when you look and when larvae are available, to be honest.
But here's where BioIce may be getting into trouble, is he is making a lot of Zerglings here, but he does not have a Baneling Nest finished.
Oh.
He does cancel that Spine Crawler and puts down a Baneling Nest in its stead, and I think that's a wise decision, but he is going to be about a full minute behind the Banelings of Moosegills.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a big deal. Depending on the control, one Baneling can take out this entire force of Zerglings.
It really can, but the problem is, Moosegills only has 2 Zerglings now. Or 3 Zerglings rather. He's got 2 Banelings in production, so he's going to be doing a very tight attempted defense, whereas BioIce is getting these Zerglings together and he's getting ready to move in.
Oh, and he does send a Zergling in now, so he sees that Baneling Nest is just about to finish up. So, to be honest, Moosegills can kind of just sit. He doesn't have to produce as many Zerglings as BioIce did, because he knows he has the Banelings out sooner. and he can use that minerals and gas to tech up to something as his layer is almost done, and BioIce hasn't even started his yet.
Yeah, and so this could either make or break the game right here for BioIce, as this is a huge push. There's not a whole lot able to come out from Mooskills right now, as a lot of his investment has been in tech. So he's got to get these banelings to hit very effectively, but 5 banelings charging forward now.
Nice hit there with the single baneling, take out a bunch of Zerglings. Spinecrawler does fall down to banelings, but and that's not the thing you want to be trading your banelings on.
Not necessarily, but it is helpful to get that down so that future banelings can be effective. 4 banelings running forward for Mooskills now. They're trying not to engage off the creep. Single Zergling moving in from BioIce and does get a kill on one of those banelings, and that's the type of trade he wants to make. Another good baneling connect, and geez, oh Pete, Mooskills is losing a lot of lings to these banelings.
It's like more banelings being morphed in outside the base. Lings trying to make their way in, but no, they do get blocked at the ramp. And banelings chasing him down, so Mooskills is doing amazing control to make sure he stays in this, even though he's a little bit behind in the army count.
He's definitely got to be really careful here, as BioIce is committing a lot to this, but if he's able to hold this out, great transfuse there.
Yeah, and the Spinecrawler's now just in great position, as this Spinecrawler can reach right here to where this Queen is. Range on Spinecrawlers is really impressive.
And this is what the game is going to come down to here. BioIce continues to try and push with the Zergling Baneling, but Mooskills is getting that Spire. So if he's able to hold this push off until Mutas come out, he's going to be in great position.
Yeah, to be honest, I think that BioIce would be best served here to not actually engage this, but just keep threatening to, so that Mooskills keeps creating units, and then BioIce expand behind it, which he is doing right now.
And that is definitely a smart move. And now all the Zerglings are moving forward. The Baneling is trying to get into there. Single Lings are trying to target those banelings down. The Zerglings from BioIce are trying to defend them, and they successfully do.
Yeah, this is, initially I was saying this is just going to be a bad play for BioIce, thinking he's going to bum rush this base, but no, he's doing sort of a just remaining threatening, and that puts Mooskills on the back foot, because that means he has to be ready for this push whenever it may or may not happen.
Mooskills is doing a very good job, though, of just playing at the bare bones defense style. He's not making too many Zerglings, he's not making too many Banelings, and he's getting a bank, getting ready for that Spire, which is about to finish.
Yeah, the big difference in composition here right now is there's 30 some odd Banelings for BioIce and just under 20 for Mooskills, but the drone count still staying about the same. Mutalisk now coming out for Mooskills, so this is going to be, as you said, the big advantage. Look at the layer timing for BioIce, it's so late.
Yep, and BioIce doesn't have any Spore Crawlers. He really doesn't have any idea that that Spire is even down. So
yeah.
He doesn't have any Spore Crawlers ready. These Mutalisks are going to be able to come out and be pretty surprising.
They are surprising indeed, but now they're flying out. This Overlord is going to see them.
Oh, yes, it is. And immediately Spore Crawlers are going down.
That's definitely the reaction you have to have when you play this type of game, and it's a good thing that BioIce is keeping himself aware of the things we're going on the map, and he does have pretty good coverage here on the map of spotting Overlords, but now he really needs to be pulling them back, because now they're just going to be picked off by these incoming Mutalisks.
BioIce is picking off these Banelings, and the Spore Crawlers are not quite ready, so he's going to charge in. It does take out those 3, but now Spore Crawlers are popping in the front, so he's forced to go try and attack somewhere else, but there's just Spore Crawlers everywhere, so he's going to have a hard time getting much mineral attack done. In the meantime, a giant group of Zerglings is running around the right-hand corner. They are going to be going into this third base, and there's not much to defend here.
No, but Mooskills can just cancel that, but it is going to be at an economic cost. He does have Roach Warren and Infestation Pit coming down. He is going to have to cancel this.
Look at all of these.
Pay attention! Pay attention!
Oh, but he's able to pull it off, and he doesn't have to cancel it.
Wow.
He keeps it.
Awesome play by Mooskills. I didn't think in a million years there was a chance of that, but he got those Banelings in just in time to be able to take out those Zerglings. So let's look at the units lost real quick. Look at BioIce. He has lost double what Mooskills has lost.
Both players now going for Roach and Fester. Or did he cancel that infestation?
Oh, Swarm
no, he
Host
already has
from
it done.
Mooskills. Swarm Host Delegation. Enduring Locust now coming down, 2 Swarm Hosts in production.
BioIce isn't making anything out of his infestation pit just yet. He does have it finished. That's not typically a unit choice that you see very often in Zerg versus Zerg, I feel like, though.
Yeah,
is the Swarm Host?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but so far what we see out of BioIce, I like it. There's nothing that would, there's pathogen glands coming down from BioIce, so he is planning on going Infester. There are some Zerglings in. Biowaste is third base, causing a little bit of damage, but just more like sentry tickle cannon, I would consider it.
Definitely not a whole lot of damage being done, and that queen is going to be able to clean that up.
There are a ton of queens here, so I mean, I have to be assuming that he's going for some kind of meaty unit that he can use those transfuses on. Infestors now in production as pathogen glands is half done. Roach speed coming down as well, so, but gosh, I think Moose Heels is just going to... This Swarm Host Swarm Host Mutalisk is a really interesting composition that...
Well, he is switching into Roach. I think that's smart to switch out of Mutalisks, as he's not making a whole lot more of them. He doesn't have a ton on the mat. Well, he's got 13, and they are trying to be active, but there's just not a lot to snipe.
The thing that's going to be rough, though, is Moosegill's creep spread is non-existent. None of his bases are connected by creep, so as you know, a Swarm Host, I mean, that creep is pretty important. I mean, they do trundle along pretty decently off of creep, but they move along so much faster on creep. But the Mutalisks are threatening Biowace's main base here.
And there's just not really a whole lot of attack paths where he's not going to be getting hit by these banelings. Always got to be super careful as the infestors are out now.
Yeah, and I think that the infestors were a reaction by Biowace to the Mutalisks. And he doesn't know about these Swarm Hosts yet, so this is going to really catch him off guard.
But I think that the infestors are going to be useful against the Swarm Hosts, because he's going to be able to see where those Swarm Hosts are based on where the eggs are popping out of, and he can just put down a fungal and suddenly they're revealed. So he's going to be able to do some damage to that.
And also you can lock down the Locust too, but that's just more of a delay tactic. But I mean, the creep spread of Biowace is really... Look at how much faster those Locusts get on creep. Oh my gosh, he's going to spend so much fungal energy trying to fungal these Locusts.
And if he's not paying attention to those infestors, he may lose some. The Locusts do redirect on a Roach and do get a kill off, but I mean, he's got to be really careful. Moosegills is getting a large...
3 infestors popping out infested Terrans at the third base of Moosegills. This is going to do a ton of damage to these drones if he doesn't pull them back real quick. Hydra's coming back to try and deal with it. Oh, but...
I mean, these Locusts are just doing so much damage now. They're targeting queens, do get one killed, get one almost done, but now the infestors are running forward, locking down the majority of those Locusts, and those Swarm Hosts are getting out of dodge.
That's a lot of Roaches. The allegation that Biowace has just gone crazy with Roaches. I think that's a really good play, but now these Mutalisks are going to come back. Oh, are they going to catch some of the infestors on the backside, possibly?
No. Looks like they're going to go back and try and catch the infestors that are harassing the third base, and that
2
there is
infested
going to
Terrans
fall.
coming down at the fourth base now. It's going to be just enough to take it out. Is it going to go down? 28, 14, 1, dead.
And down it goes. That queen pops out just a little too late, and the infestors are making their way home, clearly happy with what they were able to accomplish.
Yeah, so now Biowace has to be ultra careful. I mean, he knows there's Mutalisks on the field. He hasn't killed any of them. He knows there's Swarm Hosts on the field. He hasn't killed any of them. So...
And Moosegill's army just continues to become more and more diverse. He's got Hydralisks in the composition now.
He also has +2/+2 coming down, whereas Biowace has just started +2.
That's actually the group spines for the Hydralisks.
Ah, you're right. It is. So looking at the upgrades, +1 attack.
Oh, but these Swarm Hosts are caught off guard, and this Roach Hydra army is there. The infestors are there getting lockdowns on the Mutalisks, and all of this is going to be having a rough day. Continued chain fungals on Hydras and Mutas. Huge amounts of Hydralisks coming forward, and suddenly Moosegills is going to be having a really tough time with this Roach Hydra Infestor Queen composition.
Wow, this composition is insane. Biowace pushing himself right up the gut. All these... Oh my gosh, these Overlords are just hanging out right in the middle. The Hydras are just going to be able to take them out. That means Moosegills is not going to be able to resupply even.
No, he is currently supply blocked, and more Overlords are going to be falling. He's got to be really kicking himself for where they decided to go down. He's sending them right back in, trying to take some of the fire away from the Roaches, as the Roaches are going to be able to pull this back.
Oh, but Moosegills is pushing back, though. He's got enough Roaches and Hydras here. These Queens not doing enough damage. Hydras were attacking those Overlords, so he's going to be able to hold this off.
He absolutely is, but the problem is that he is severely supply blocked. He just is now getting unsupply blocked while his opponent is in the process of building his army back up. There's a 40 supply difference right now, and more infested Terrans on that fourth base.
Yeah. Transfuse going down to try and delay the damage there a little bit, but as you said, I mean, Biowace in such a good position now. He's taking that fourth base, as you said, but Biowace does not have to spend 1,000 minerals on Overlords. Whereas Moosegills does.
He does have the money to do so, but is he going to have the money to build an army afterwards as well? That's going to be the question.
More infested Terrans going down on the third base. It's going to be able to take it out. Transfuse comes down, so that is going to prevent him from killing that base. But
and great
nice
transfuse
try there.
Yeah, does get a lot of damage now, and even if he doesn't get it down, these bases have such low health now that I mean, it's not going to take a whole lot to be able to push it down. And sure enough, BioIce is moving forward with a small Roach Hydra army. He's going to try and finish the job.
Oh, he doesn't want to get too off guard here, as he did split his forces up. He is wanting to take out this 4th base again. He is going to get it down. Moose Skills doesn't have anything to counter these roaches over here. And he knows that if he pulls back too much, the other half of BioIce's army is going to come in. But ooh, nice little split on the roach. So he knows this hatch is so low. Can he get it?
Another transfuse went down, though, and he's going to have to micro back into hard territory. 21 health, and he does get it! So 2 bases fall now for Moose Skills. He's only on 2 base. He's on 2 base compared to 4 bases.
He's on 1 base, man. Main is mined out. Drone's just chilling there doing nothing. Now he does select them and does get some more Swarm House out, but I don't think 2 Swarm House is going to get it done.
I don't think it is either. I mean, he just lost so many when those Swarm Hosts were not covered by his army, and he's really been on the back foot ever since.
Man, the micro of Bio is really coming to fruition too. I mean, he's transfusing those roaches like crazy. There was a handful of roaches for Moose Skills that came into the 4th base of BioAce, and BioAce didn't lose a single roach because he just kept transfusing them, and now Moose Skills is going to be remote mining the 4th base.
And he's going to be trying to go on the aggression here, as he is not happy with the way that this game has been turning out. Now sicking drones on infestors, trying to get a kill with those. Almost gets a kill, but the infestor was able to get out of range of those spore crawlers.
Moose Skills getting a nice little split on his army. He doesn't want to get a large number of units caught by fungals like he did there a second ago. I mean, that could whittle his army apart, but now it's just a positioning battle here.
But this army of BioIce is so big, it's not attack moving though, and the spore crawler, or
the fungals going down. All the fungals, the infestors, oh my god.
The infestors taking down, or getting fungals on all those swarm hosts. The swarm hosts are going to fall again, and Moose Skills' army is just having a really tough time right now. He's got to retreat back to his bases, but there's just not a whole lot there, except for Overlords again.
Oh, nice, got a few in swarm hosts on the backside here. Oh, he does toss out a fungal to try and detect them, but alas, it was in the wrong spot. So the swarm host sitting right under this small army. I mean, gosh, Moose Skills, for being in the position he's in, he's holding on in this game much longer than I thought possible.
Yeah, but he still hasn't put down any. He's just remote mining. He's putting all of his economy into units right now. He's not retaking those bases. And Moose Skills chooses to GG.
GG. Victory for StarCraft Ascension BioIce.
And that puts the score for StarCraft Ascension up to 2 now.
That's right. I need a pen and paper or something to keep track of this. I see a paper. That means I have to use my phone. I do need to keep the score.
That would be a good idea.
While I note this.
So as we said, Moose Skills does drop there to the Zerg play of BioIce. That was very strong. Zerg, Hydra, Infestor play. Just, he was kind of everywhere. He was in all the bases with Infested Terrans being dropped, and then sending strike forces of roaches to finish off the job when the Infested Terrans weren't able to get it done.
Yeah, and I've mentioned this before, and I just tell you how much I love seeing Infestors in Heart of the Swarm. I think they're still a great unit, even though they did get a bit of a nerf on the fungal range, which as you and I both said before, we did think it was necessary. But I mean, the people that have the control, the micro, the ability to use them, I mean, they just are so powerful. I mean, even like that, when the 2 armies were coming towards the middle, he would get an infestor out in front of his army and just grab a small group of roaches, come up with the hydras, kill it, and that's 8 units dead.
Yep.
So it's another good way to whittle away your opponent's army.
And I think that the swarm host may have been a really good transition if he hadn't been met with infestors, as those infestors were able to get the fungals down, get them revealed, and ultimately take them out.
Yep. So let's